I got an email from John last night, and I wanted to respond to his email and also try to help maybe some of you other techs that are out there on Field Nation. John's a little bit worried about a Psyop operation going on Field Nation and WorkMarket. So I'm going to see if I can help John and you out with some of the notifications coming from Field Nation. Let's get into it. John actually brings up a good point about some notifications that probably drive a lot of Field Nation techs insane. And honestly, in general, there are tons and tons of notifications that you're going to get from Field Nation and WorkMarket with all the jobs being routed and messages and updates and time changes and all that kind of stuff. John is concerned that some of these notifications are abusive. Maybe the buyers are sending out these notices as a na 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 style message saying that a ticket is assigned to someone else. If you request jobs and you don't get any of them assigned to you, or you get one assigned to you, then of course, as the other jobs get assigned to other technicians, there's going to be a notification going out that says this job was assigned to someone else, which in general is a good thing to know. But for me, I don't really care to know that it was assigned to someone else. All I really care about is what was assigned to me. I've learned in this business, you really want to focus on the things that are helping you and you want to ignore everything else. Otherwise, you're going to get just overwhelmed with messages. What makes me sad is that John feels like this is a psychological thing, and he's, I guess, been complaining to Field Nation for 2 years about this. Brother, let me help you. There's a way to turn off this setting in Field Nation. And I don't understand how their tech support hasn't told you about this setting, because you just change the setting and you don't get told about the fact that jobs are assigned to other people. Go into your Field Nation profile, go to your profile icon, click that, and go to settings. Once you're in settings, you want to go to notifications, which this jumped automatically to notifications by default. You have email notifications and you have text notifications. So there's settings for each one. If you're more of an email person, you like to manage everything in email, then you can go into your email and turn on what you want, turn off what you don't want, and then you can turn off all the SMS notifications. Or if you're the reverse and you're more of a phone person, then you can turn off all the email ones and turn on the SMS ones. But this is the one that you're looking for, John. Requested work order available. A requested work order was assigned to another provider. If you will turn off this setting, then you will no longer get those notifications by email saying this ticket was assigned to someone else. Same thing under text messages. Turn this off. You won't get notifications when the job gets assigned to someone else. So John, I promise you Field Nation is not running a psyop on you. But it does make me sad that you really feel like that this is some mind control message driven by some perverse desire. I can assure you Field Nation wants to have techs doing jobs, and they want their buyers to be happy. They want their techs to be happy. I hope that me showing you this little setting will help you to have a little bit more peace of mind. Going back to the notification screen, again, you want to try to minimize how many messages you're dealing with every day. If you don't process and filter down these notifications, then you are going to be overwhelmed with messages. And then when you get a message that's actually important that you care about, there's a chance that it gets buried in all the other messages and you miss out on a important message from a client, a status update that you really care about. So you want to go through all of these notification settings and make sure that they're set to where you are seeing things that are important. I care about reviews, but I don't need to get text messages that I've gotten a review. Just so you understand what these are, let's kind of go through them right quick. Obviously, new work orders. You want to know when a new work order comes in, and they give you the option to have filters. If you're a new tech and you're struggling to get jobs, you don't want to set this filter too tight. You probably want to keep your distance range further out. You want to keep your minimum total pay lower, because you don't want to miss out on those jobs that other people don't want that you can get in order to build up your profile. If you're a new tech, you're really trying to compete against a tight market. And when a buyer sees your profile with no tickets, no ratings, and they compare that to someone that has 100 tickets or 700 tickets or 1,500 tickets, then odds are they're going to pick the technician with the better profile. You as a new tech have to make sacrifices on the front end. You've got to do jobs that other techs don't want to do. You have to drive further distances without asking for travel. You have to do jobs that pay lower pay rates, lower flat rates, lower hourly rates. The techs that have done 700 jobs or 1,500 jobs aren't looking at those. They're ignoring them, and they are only doing the higher paying jobs. So the buyers are going to be more motivated to select a tech with no profile ratings, no history, because they're trying to get their job done, and they're willing to take a risk on you. And the flip side of that is you need to do a good job because you want to get those ratings. You want to have positive ratings. You want your metrics to look good. You want to have shown that you're on time. You want to show that you completed all the work order deliverables, that you made the client happy. I try to keep things as decluttered as possible, so I turn off any of these that really aren't applicable towards me getting a new job or getting paid. Everything else, for sure, I don't want to get SMSs on. And even in my email, I turn a lot of these off because I don't need them to be able to function. All I care about is getting new work and getting existing work done and paid. You just want to select where you want these notifications. So if you're out in the field all the time, you probably want an SMS notification that there's a new work order available. You want a notification that routed tickets have been sent to you. And the difference between available and routed is an available is just offered to everyone under the sun. You request it, and then the buyer chooses. A routed ticket is super, super important. It is sent out to specific technicians, and whoever goes into the ticket and accepts it gets it. And so it is a more immediate thing. So if you see a notification for a routed ticket, you want to stop whatever you're doing and hop into that ticket and get on it if it's something that you want in general. Now, pay updates, I don't turn this on because this is updating me for a ticket that's already routed. Typically, I either want it or I don't want it. If I want it, I'm going to make a counter offer. So I don't care really if the buyer is going in and changing the pricing. Obviously, we talked about this, work order unavailable. I don't care if it's routed to somebody else, so this is off. You want to know when a ticket's assigned to you, so obviously you want that setting to be on, and I want to know immediately. You can set these to be during certain times of the day, so if your phone's going off at all hours of the night, then you could set some of this to be during business hours. Now for me, I turn my ringer off, so I would rather see the notification and know that it's there when I get up and check my phone. Work order being canceled. I mean, that's an important thing because if you've got an assigned job and it gets canceled, obviously you want to know that. So that's something I would have on. If you're assigned a ticket and a buyer puts a new message on the ticket, you want to know about that. So I would have that on. Work order hold added. I would think you'd want to know about that because if your ticket is going to be put on hold, you want to know so that you don't go out to the site. If there's shipment tracking issues, I would think you'd want to know that. An expense request being approved or denied, or a pay change being approved or denied. Those are things that I would want to know. So those are two items that I would turn on. Having one of your deliverables being denied, that's pretty important. You want to have that notification on. The work order closeout reminders, I don't need an automated reminder to tell me to close a ticket. And just as a sidebar, this drives me nuts. There are buyers that will literally put your ticket into trouble status if you haven't closed it within a certain amount of time. I don't know if they're doing that as a way to potentially get out of paying the ticket if you don't respond quickly enough. But listen, I want to get paid. You don't need to put a ticket into trouble status for me to close it. I'm out doing calls. I'm running my business. I can assure you, I want to get the job closed so I can get paid. You don't need to escalate it to Field Nation to get me to close it. So I don't turn on the closeout reminders because I'm a big boy. I can do it myself. Now, reviews are obviously important for you new technicians. For me, I don't need an email saying that I got a review, so I keep this off. Now, if you're a new technician, you need these reviews. You desperately need to get reviews. But it's only going to tell you if you get a review. Honestly, if you're new and you're only doing one ticket a week or a couple of tickets a month and you're just not doing a lot of jobs, you should be a little more proactive in the first place. If you haven't got a review yet, make sure that you go in and leave the buyer a review. And then I would send a message to the buyer or even call them and say, hey, I'm a new tech. I'm trying to build my profile. Would you mind leaving me a review? So having this notification on, I mean, maybe it'll be something for you to celebrate. Obviously, work order updates. You're going to want to know when a job is updated that's assigned to you. This will save you a lot of hassle and heartache, and hopefully you won't feel like the platforms are running a Psyop on you. Because I don't think they are. I mean, I could be wrong, but you never know. If you got value today, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to watch all of my other videos about Field Nation and WorkMarket and CloudWork Pro and even direct clients. I try to use my YouTube channel to teach as much as I can possibly teach to help you guys that are new to get started and to be effective and to make your learning curve as short as possible. And even you experienced techs, I try to do some in-depth videos here and there to really dig in deep to the things that I've learned over the past 20 years that help me to run effectively. As always, let's get you out in the field and making money. I'll see you in the next video.